Hi everyone, I hope you're well and safe. When I saw Mr. Bevan's video last week about what I could have told a younger self, it got me thinking about what I would say to a younger me. I've been a teacher for 12 years now, and every single year there is always students that tell me that their biggest fear is exam stress or actually doing their exams, and this was my biggest issue when I was at school. Over all my years, I've taken a lot of exams. It first started when I was in year 6. Before I did my SATs, I had to take my 11 plus exams. Then I took my SATs. Then throughout year 7, 8, 9 and 10, I did end of year exams. I then took my GCSEs, my A-levels. When I went on to do my degree, I took geography and French. So I had exams throughout the 4 years that I was at university. Then when I was in France, I had to take a French proficiency exam, and then finally, before I could do my teaching degree, I had to take a literacy and numeracy exam. So lots of exams, and every single time I took an exam, it was always the same issue: anxiety, stress, fear, butterflies. Each time it got a little bit easier for me, and I'd like to share some advice today with you. So when I was younger, my parents knew that I struggled massively in the exam preparation. I always thought that I wasn't doing either enough revision. I always thought that the information was falling out of my head. So I'd revise biology, then I'd revise maths. I'd forgotten all the biology that I revised, but that wasn't necessarily the case. I was always comparing myself to other students, which you should never ever do. Everyone tells you that. You should always try to be the best that you can be. That's all we ever expect from you, not you compared to other people. So to try and help me with my exam stress, I went and spoke to my favourite teacher. It was my geography teacher, Mrs. Lockley, and she gave me some advice. She told me to revise, get myself prepared for my exams, and to breathe, because everything will be all right in the end. So first things first, I'd make sure that I would create a revision timetable. So for every single set of exams that you've got to do, map it out beforehand, when you're going to revise and what you're going to revise, what topics do you need. If you need to speak to your teachers, if you don't understand something, make sure you go and see them. When you're doing revision, make sure you are using lots of colours, creating lots of flashcards, revision posters, that type of thing. In the end, I ended up decorating my bedroom walls with all of my revision notes. Next to my bedroom mirror, on one side I'd have like my physics equations, like DST. Then on the other side I'd have my French verb conjugations. So I kind of like surrounded myself with all of my revision, and it really did help me. Made me feel a lot more prepared for my exams. When it comes to taking your exams, what I would recommend to you is make sure that you've got your equipment. So you've got a nice pen that you know you can rely on. You've got all of your protractors, your calculators and stuff. Every single year when I took exams, my mum would take me out and we would buy a nice new pen together. So I would suggest doing the same thing. When it comes to actually taking your exams, hopefully, if you prepared yourself enough, it should be a lot easier. Actually, coming up to the exams, I was always insanely nervous, especially when it came to my GCSEs. I remember thinking that I'm just going to pass out from all the stress, or my biology paper's going to gobble me up. But in reality, that doesn't happen at all. If you revise well, you will know the answers. If you've prepared yourself well, you will be absolutely fine taking the exam questions. So my advice to a younger me, or my advice to people who suffer from exam stress, is to revise well. That's the one thing that you've got control of. You don't have control over your exam questions. What you do have control of is your actual revision. Make sure you're well prepared for your exams. Find out when your exams are way in advance, so you've got enough time to prepare yourself well for it. You can't cram, because cramming for the last minute, it will not make you successful at all. When it comes to taking your actual exam, take a deep breath, open up your exam paper and tackle each question, question by question, and persevere right to the end. Make sure you do not give up. And just remember, que sera, sera. What will be, will be. Thank you. Have a nice day.